Hey everybody, this is Ryan from the Irish Sports Pages. I hope you're all doing very well today. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Stewart Cheifet and his TV show, The Computer Chronicles. And I am 100% sure that Stewart was responsible for a lot of careers in the field of computers. And what I really enjoy about his show, even though I didn't really watch a whole lot of it growing up, was that he had a lot of guests on, and he was really interested in educating people about computers and the technology behind them. And because the show actually, I believe it ran from like 1984 to like 2004, 2006, somewhere around there. It's not current, but it's now history. So you're actually looking at how these things evolved, the evolution of computers. And, because my generation is the first generation to actually have grown up with computers, I saw the evolution of the video game. And, I played Atari when I was a kid, and Nintendo and Super Nintendo and PlayStation. I still actually play these video games too, and I'm closer to 50 than I am 20. So um, I probably will always play video games, even when I'm in a nursing home. I can definitely see that, and I'll be blaring Van Halen to the day I die. But getting back to Stewart Cheifet here, I really wanted to kind of dive into his career, and I'm really kind of fascinated with the history of computers. And even though I grew up with this stuff, I still really I'm still learning. So there's another channel that I want to tell you guys about on YouTube called Adrian's Digital Basement by Adrian Black, and I believe he's an engineer. And I really enjoy Adrian's channel. I enjoy what he does. My my only hiccup, if you will, is that he makes everything look really simple, and he definitely knows what he's doing. The only thing is that like I have a hard time following everything that he's saying. So I feel like I kind of have to like press pause and then go and try to find out exactly what he is talking about because it's very technical. But other than that, like you can still pick up stuff here and there, at least I can. So I do have a semblance of what he is doing or saying because I've seen so many of Adrian's his videos. Again, going back to Stuart Cheifet, I was really fascinated by how he brought on other people and spoke about the newsworthiness of the computers and the technology behind them. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that with his Irish Sports Page and another article that I saw as well. So I think you're going to find this very interesting. Here we go. This is from the magazine Die Programmatica Eispon, a magazine about programmers, code, and society, written by and for humans since 2018. Stewart Cheifet by Adrian Kosmanskowitsky, published January 1st, 2024. The same way kids are addicted to TikTok nowadays, I was addicted to TV as a kid. In the place and time of my teenage years, that is Argentina during the 1980s, it was the time of hyperinflation and eternal crisis, which begs the question, has anything changed in 40 years? Just such a tense situation also meant that there was not much content on the telly about a subject that I was definitely interested in since a young age, computers. I mean, you could barely afford food, so understandably enough, computing was scarce. Maslow's pyramid, yada yada. There were the occasional programs about video games, like the one I described in the gaming issue of this magazine, but nothing about other aspects of computing. Americans were much luckier in that respect. During 19 years, from 1983 to 2002, a unique TV program on PBS provided a live documentary of the growing PC industry. The Computer Chronicles was a half-hour weekly program hosted by Stewart Cheifet, a journalist graduated from Harvard who also worked for ABC. The 19 seasons of the Computer Chronicles today, available on both YouTube and the Internet Archive, are a treasure chest of historical data. To put it in perspective, Friends only had 10 seasons, and The Simpsons had just started its 35th. It constitutes a living testimony of the era long gone, with episodes showcasing every imaginable subject: the rise of the IBM PC, Windows, and the World Wide Web, obscure and not so obscure programming languages, spreadsheets and office suites, operating systems, printers, mainframes, microchips, databases, software piracy, networks, fax machines, and tax preparation software. The list of episodes looks more like a 1980s computer science curriculum than a TV show. The show ended early enough before Linux, open source, cloud computing, or even Python became mainstream. That should give you an idea of the time frame we are talking about here. Oh, but there were some episodes about Java and artificial intelligence, if you were into that kind of thing. Each episode of the Computer Chronicles followed a very similar structure, a 30-minute long magazine program dealing with one main subject, split into various sections and interviews, and followed by a newsreel sequence at the end with some industry information. Couple that with the corny jingle music for the introduction and the voice intonation of the host. I can only hope Mr. Cheifet did not talk like that at home to his family, and you can enjoy a nice trip back in time. Most importantly, the one and only Gary Kildall, of all people, was a co-host together with Mr. Cheifet during the first 7 years of the show. Sadly, Mr. Kildall passed away in 1994, and the show aired a special episode in his memory. Kids, Gary Kildall is infamous because, among other things, he could have been Bill Gates. Ask your dad if you do not know who Bill Gates is. Sadly, history only remembers stupid details like these. Let us be clear here. Gary single-handedly kickstarted the home PC revolution in the mid-1970s. But because he did not become an eccentric billionaire, just a few history boffins like the author of these lines remember him. Gary is a towering figure in our craft, and one of the main reasons you have a personal computer in front of you at this precise moment. The Software Publishers Association, today known as the Software and Information Industry Association, and still heavily engaged against software piracy, would sponsor many episodes of the show with the catchy "Don't copy that floppy" slogan at the beginning. Talk about a lost cause. At the end of the show, during the early 90s, you could ask questions to the hosts using CompuServe using the Go Chronicles command. If you do not know how to use CompuServe, call 1-800-522-4477 to learn how to log on. Insert 28 kbps modem sound here. These days you can follow Stewart Cheifet on Twitter if you are into that kind of thing. In this era of binge-watching TV shows, make yourself comfortable and enjoy the 19 seasons of the Computer Chronicles on YouTube or the Internet Archive with a good bowl of popcorn or some nachos con guacamole. This is Stewart Cheifet's official Irish sports page. Stewart was born on September 24th, 1938, to Paul and Annie Cheifet in Philadelphia, where he spent his childhood and attended Central High School. He later moved to California to attend college, graduating from the University of Southern California in 1960 with degrees in mathematics and psychology. He went on to earn his law degree from Harvard Law School. In 1967, Stewart met his future wife, Peter Kennedy while the two were working at CBS News in Paris. They returned to the United States and married later that year. Stewart's career in television production took them around the world, and they lived together in the Solomon Islands, Hawaii, San Francisco, and Los Angeles before eventually settling back to Philadelphia. Stewart and Peta had two children, Stephanie and Jonathan. Stewart is best known for producing and hosting the nationally broadcasted PBS television programs Computer Chronicles and Net Cafe. Computer Chronicles aired from 1984 to 2002, producing more than 400 episodes that documented the rise of the personal computer from its earliest days. Net Cafe, which aired from 1996 to 2002, explored the emergence of the Internet. Both programs were widely regarded as visionary, capturing the evolution of personal computing and the early development of the digital age. Stewart's professional interests and talents were wide-ranging. After leaving television production, he worked as a consultant on the Internet Archive, helping to preserve and provide public access to cultural and technological media, including Computer Chronicles and other technology programs. He also shared his knowledge as an educator, teaching broadcast journalism at the Donald W. Reynolds School of Journalism at the University of Nevada, Reno. After retirement, he spent his remaining years enjoying time with PETA. Is that PETA or PETA? I don't know. I'm sorry. I bash names all the time. Uh, I butcher people's names like it's a sport. I'm sorry about that, guys. Anyway, his children and grandchildren and his brothers. Stewart is survived by his brothers Lanny and Bruce, his children Stephanie and Jonathan, and his grandchildren Gussie, Josephine, Benjamin, Freya, and Penny. Services will be held for immediate family only. I'm going to leave a link in the description below for both Adrian's channel and a few Computer Chronicles episodes as well. I think you guys are going to really enjoy those. And if you guys have any memories of the Computer Chronicles or Stewart Cheifet, let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. Again, I am still learning about computers. I think it's going to be a lifelong process, in fact. And the computer itself in the digital age really is something that is good and bad. Just like the internet, obviously, like there's elements there that are absolutely fantastic, but there is also things that, obviously, like when you're watching any of these Computer Chronicles issues from the 1980s or 1990s, there are certain things that they could not foresee, specifically the iPhone, right? And what that has done to society, good and bad. I think sometimes we might have to actually take a step back and say, hey, listen, like we can we can issue this product or the service or whatever it may be in regards to AI especially, but what are the pros and cons of doing this? Obviously, since we issued or released the iPhone, has it been good for society? I kind of say no to that. There are certain things that are really convenient. I mean, these things are really convenient. Like everybody and their grandmother has one of these. But every time like I'm on a train or on a bus or somewhere, everybody has their snout in one of these things and they're not looking and not paying attention to what's going on around them. Everybody's texting, which is fine, but I should say here on this channel that while remembering the people who have passed on, don't forget about the people who are in the present who are still alive. And I kind of want to transfer that to technology as well. We're so reliant, heavily reliant on these things that we kind of tend to forget that there are people across from us or right next to us, and that we're so focused on what is going on with these that we're not focusing on what's really important, and that's the people around us. So while I really have no problem with technology, even though sometimes it's really frustrating. Uh, I just seem to think that maybe we should kind of like take a step back with technology and say, hey, is this actually good for a society? And again, there are aspects of this technology, computers and the internet especially, that is not good. But anyway, guys, that's enough of my rant here on that. And if you want to comment on that, go for it. Anything you guys want to say is fine. Just keep it G-rated. That's all I ask. And until the next time, I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.